Okay, so this is the reluctant man, Mark, my husband, who I'm going to ask questions of, and he doesn't know about them because this channel's all about spontaneity. So this is about why did we come to France, or why did you come to France? Why did you want to live in France?
Well, it goes a long way back. My father did a school exchange to France to learn more French before the war. So he went and stayed with the Musains on the outskirts of Paris, Saint-Maur-des-Fossés. Um, and they came to visit. His Edouard's daughter came to stay with us to learn more English for I think a fortnight one summer. So there was, contact was there. At school, to start with, it was one of those kind of schools, direct grammar school with part boarding school, boys only, which is unbelievable now. But I was bad enough at French to start with that, along with 5 other people, we were so bad at French, they didn't even bother trying to get us to learn Latin along with everybody else. Thank goodness. So the 6 of us did art instead of Latin, which was right up my street, which was great. It meant we got twice the art that the rest of the class did, which was fine with me. Then, when was it? The 4th form? Suddenly in the 4th one, I said, right, you 6, you'll now join the Latin group. You'll catch up on your own in the same class, and learn Latin as well. Did we? We didn't, no. And as soon as we could, we dropped Latin like a hot brick and did biology for O-level, which was great, fine. Anyway, so.
Yes, I was wondering where we were going with that.
I'm getting there.
Are you getting there?
Getting there. And so the Easter before O-levels, my parents sent me to France for, what was it, a week, I suppose, to stay with this French family. And I took to pottering around Paris on my own. I learnt to use the underground and
Metro,
the metro,
yeah.
and thoroughly enjoyed myself. It was wonderful. After that, when I took the O-levels that summer, French was my best subject. I got a grade 2, which is amazing. I look back now and think, well, why did I not do it for A-level? I did sciences instead, but anyway.
Okay.
So, and then after a lot of that, France. In my first marriage, we had a...
You were married before?
I'm sorry about this. I should have told you before. But my first father organised, he hired a gîte from a friend, a colleague, in the Dordogne. And all we had to do was get ourselves there. Big farmhouse out in the country. And it was gorgeous, absolutely glorious. So I really absolutely loved it for a fortnight. Partly because it was just being en famille, which was great fun, very enjoyable. And again, wandering around some of the time just on my own, but just because I couldn't face going to the beach yet again. So, but it's very pleasant. After that, 1 or 2 more French holidays, when the 2 of us, we had holidays in France. We tried it out and we did a house exchange with a French couple, and we had a fortnight there, and it was so quiet. The noisiest thing was a couple of tractors during the day going past. That was it. It was glorious, lovely. So in the midst of that, I was heading for retirement, and Kathy, being Israel, looked around estate agents, which I just wandered past, and suddenly said, well, actually, we could retire to France, which had always been my dream. I'd always thought, if we have other lives, I thought in my next life I'd like to be French, because I just liked the country. It's just a lovely place. And we, so we did. We retired to France. We, the French friends that we made, this couple, found us a place to rent in Saint-Pierre-de-Maillet, little village on a river with a beautiful bridge and a weir and everything. So we were there for, oh, blimey, a couple of months.
4 months, I think it
4
was.
months,
Yeah.
was it? Renting this place. We found an English-speaking French estate agent who initially claimed that he didn't. And we saw all kinds of places, some completely inappropriate, and we found this place, and it looked uncared for. It reminded me of something from Hansel and Gretel. It was all overgrown, and I think we just fell for the place. I thought, we need to look after this, and so we moved here. The English company that did the removals stored half our stuff. They brought our stuff from Saint-Pierre-de-Maillet to here. They brought the other stuff out of storage, and we installed ourselves here. So that's it. We've had some disagreements with our immediate neighbour. We eventually found out from a neighbour the other side, who's now the local mayor, but he said nobody else local was going to buy it because they knew what a rotten piece of work he was. Of course, at the time we didn't. For a year, 18 months, it seemed okay. We seemed to get on with him. But a lot of his stuff was based on, he thought we were going to buy some obscure patch of land out the back. And there was a sum of money being held in trust because of this, which we didn't quite understand. We just let it go through in the buying ceremonies. And eventually we found some legal help, and we got the deposited money, and we didn't buy this patch of land. And he's been a rat bag ever since, but that's by the by. Most of our French are fine. It's a nice place. Love it.
When you came to Paris and you did your week in Paris, and then it seems that helped you with your French. What you read? Was it Marsupilami? You did a lot of
French comics.
But was that not
helpful?
was that helpful for your French language?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I sort of wonder whether it improved my accent a bit, possibly. Because it's odd to go from being so bad at French they wouldn't let you do Latin to it being my best pass over. Don't quite understand that, but still, there you go.
So what would you change about where you live now? Is there anything that you would change?
What, with a magic wand?
Yeah.
I suppose I'd go for a detached house without a rotten neighbour that we're semi-detached from. So we didn't have to sort of build massive boundaries like the wall over there to keep him out off our front garden with his bloody car. But otherwise, no. It's a peaceful spot. It's very rural. There's woods we can wander off into. There's a river we can wander down to the other way if we choose to. There's some nearby towns that are very pleasant to go to. And Poitiers, which is 3/4 of an hour. We haven't been there for ages now.
No.
But, who knows? We might go again.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I don't think I would really.
No.
Not much. No.
And what's your favourite bit of the house?
Difficult to say. I like having a utility room. I like having a study. Even if we call it a bunker. I like the space. I like having our own. Well, it's an acre, I think. Apparently, allegedly, that we have. Some of it over there we've not actually been on because it's so overgrown with trees and brush and the rest of it. We haven't been on it, but apparently it's part of our patch with a road going through it. And you know, in the warmth of the spring and the summer, just coming out and sitting in the garden is glorious. Reading a book or whatever, very nice.
And are you French now?
Sort of.
You
We-
said that
we-
you wanted to, you know,
Yes.
in a second life, you
Yeah.
would like to be French.
Yeah, I didn't have the early start in French that would make me that kind of French. But I'm French in the sense that we've been given French citizenship,
So you have a French passport,
French passport and an English passport. Don't quite know which one to use when at which border.
unless your wife tells you, and you
Unless
have
my
to
wife
do as
tells
she
me. Yeah,
tells you. Yeah.
that's it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that.
De rien.
You can go and have your coffee now.
You're very kind.
I know.
Thank you so much.
That's okay. You're welcome.